Is Virgin Voyages the new Carnival? Stay tuned to see how our most recent Virgin Voyage cruise shocked us by adding all the party that Carnival got rid of, but in a much more tasteful way. Hey everyone, my name is Cam, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel where I tell it like it is, just real firsthand travel experiences. We recently went on our second sailing with Virgin Voyages, our first being in late 2024. And when we stepped foot on the ship on our second sailing, we knew right away something was different. Just for context, we went on the Carnival Jubilee back in April, and while we had a blast, we're going to use that as context for everything we saw on that sailing, as well as from our first sailing on Virgin. Now that Carnival has announced these recent changes that has everybody freaking out. Without further ado, here is the 4 things that Virgin is doing that is taking away from Carnival. Number 1, we have line dancing and the fans that go along with that line dancing. Number 2, we have hip hop music. Number 3, we have handheld Bluetooth speakers. And number 4, we have the over the top pool parties. And last but not least, we will talk about how Virgin will take the party cruise crown, but in a much more tasteful way, as well as their superpower. So let's jump right into it. Number 1, the line dancing as well as the fans included in the line dancing. Carnival has outright said there are no more fans going along with their line dancing. And what we saw with Virgin was completely different. They have on their app announced, hey, here's a line dancing class. Come enjoy the class, learn how to line dance, and please make sure you bring your fans. And I think at one point I did see them distribute some fans. Virgin is taking this head on. They said, okay, Carnival, you do not want to allow your fan base, your clientele to bring on fans and do the line dance that has made Carnival famous. A line dance that a lot of people do on the sail away party and just throughout the sailings during the pool parties. Virgin has said, nope, come bring it, have fun, let's do this. What shocked us is Virgin is also doing this as a class. You can actually schedule yourself to go to a class on the very top deck up at the perch and enjoy this line dancing class. It is an hour long. The instructor teaches everyone different line dances. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% with it. My wife, if she was here, she could explain this a lot better. But they were teaching the Texas two-step. They were teaching some of the songs with Beyonce. They were teaching all sorts of different line dancing. And the most famous one is the one where the fans clap.
Yes, Habibi.
Hey, I'm doing the video and I completely forgot. What is the name of the line dance that Carnival got rid of that makes the clapping noise with the fans?
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. There we go. Boots on the ground. Okay, and I'm still recording this, by the way, so say hello to everybody.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, bye. And now that I have reached out to my wife, she has reminded me that it is Boots on the Ground. So Carnival has gotten rid of the song Boots on the Ground, and Virgin has said, nope, we're going to do it. We're going to do this class. Everybody come, bring your fans. We're going to play Boots on the Ground. Clap your fans as loud as you can and get yourself going. But here's where I feel like Virgin did the smart thing. Virgin did these line dances separate from the clubs, separate from the pools. And they're not saying that you can't do it there. The DJ's just not going to play that music for other people at the club, which is the Manor on Virgin, or at the pool parties. I feel like this was a very smart decision by Virgin because it's one of those things that it takes people away. It gets the itch for them wanting to do the line dancing. They get it out of their system. They do it and then they move on with their day. And it was even a better idea to invite everyone to come do it because it's one of those things that not everybody knows how to line dance. So when you're on Carnival, you're watching a lot of people that don't know how to line dance. Watch the people that know how to line dance. And they kind of feel like they're missing out. My wife was actually one of those people and it made her want to learn. But not a lot of people will go and do that on their own, which is learn how to line dance. So they did this class and a lot of people joined, male, female, and everyone was there. Every person was there learning how to line dance. I was even at the point where, had I not been filming, I probably would have been in the back going, okay, let me learn how to move my feet a little bit. So it was awesome to see. And what I realized is everybody got the line dance itch out of their system. And also another thing, as I mentioned before, they weren't playing any type of line dance music at the pool. They weren't playing any type of line dance music at the Manor, which is the club. So you never really saw everybody walking around with the fans, making them clap. Now, there was another night that they have a party called the We Fancy Party. And that is when the crew comes by with fans. They pass out fans and everybody waves them as they go. And you could hear some people making the fans clap. But nonetheless, it's not loud enough to where you're freaking out. The music's much more louder in the Manor. So Virgin, line dancing, go, have fun, have a blast. Number 2, hip hop. And I know what you might be saying, Cam, they play hip hop everywhere. Yes. On our first sailing last year, they did play hip hop on Virgin Voyages. Don't let me make it seem like they weren't playing hip hop music at all. Here's where it got different. The daytime pool parties last year, they weren't playing much hip hop. It was a lot of 80s club music. It was a lot of different things like that. It was not any strong, hard hip hop that was playing throughout the day. No twerk music, no none of that. This time around was completely different. They were playing all the hard stuff. All the twerk music was happening throughout the daytime pool parties. All the twerk music was happening at Scarlet Night, late at night, at the after party in the Manor. It was all in your face, and Virgin is doing it unapologetically. They are saying, hey, everyone, come by. I don't care who kicked you off of what cruise. I don't care who told you what cruise you couldn't do what. On Virgin Voyages, they are saying, come by, have a good time. Let's have a blast. And even at one point, guys, I think the pool parties were absolutely X-rated. There was footage that I got while I was on this cruise that I cannot post on YouTube. I will absolutely get banned. Was it like that for the whole pool party? No. But when the pool party got to its peak, it was definitely X-rated. People's tops were coming off. Booty was flying everywhere. It was to the point where I was telling my wife, oh my goodness, this is next level partying. And to a lot of people, this might not be what you want. And to some people, if you're ready to get on a party cruise and do, in my opinion, what the best party cruise is, you have to go Virgin Voyages at this point. There's no denying them. They are taking on everyone and they are saying, hey, we're playing all the hard hits, all the club music, everything that you could possibly think of. And every time we go, even though we've only been twice, but it seems like every time we go, they are progressing and changing. And a lot of the sailors that we were on board with that have been on Virgin 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, they are saying the same thing in regards to with you getting drunk, with you partying, with people shaking booty all throughout the day. And they are just saying, come have a great time. Now, number 3 is the Bluetooth speakers. Really, in regards to the Bluetooth speakers, there wasn't much. But what I realized going from my Carnival sailing back in April on the Jubilee to this Virgin Voyages sailing that I was just on last week, I could tell you guys this much. On that Carnival sailing, there was a lot of people playing music throughout the ship. People would bring their Bluetooth speakers. You would go to the pool. Someone over here is playing something. You would be at the buffet. Someone over there is playing something. At least that is what my experience was. And I do remember even at one time seeing one of the workers on the Carnival Jubilee telling a gentleman that, hey, he can't keep playing music in that area. We were kind of towards the back of the buffet where Shaq's Big Chicken was. Now, on Virgin, they haven't said you cannot bring Bluetooth speakers. And I did see a couple of people holding their Bluetooth speakers. Let me put it to you guys like this. Virgin Voyages has it set up where you are getting the party out of your system. You are getting the music out of your system. When those pool parties are done, when Scarlet Night is done, when the nighttime parties are done, you are not feeling like you need to keep listening to music. I, at one point, was going to my room during the day and my ears were absolutely ringing in a good way. It was because I was in that club atmosphere, listening to loud music, listening to all the music that I could possibly hear in the clubs, at the pools, at night. So a lot of people on board, what I felt like, did not feel the need to use their Bluetooth speakers. So just to address that, it wasn't a big problem on Virgin Voyages. Now, it could become a big problem in the future. Maybe some people might not like the music that is being played on Virgin Voyages and they want to play their own music, and that might cause an issue. But on my last sailing, not one person, even the people that were holding their Bluetooth speakers that I saw on board, not one person was really in the mood to play it. Everything was out of their system. The music was out of their system. They heard everything they could possibly want to hear. And also a bonus mention that I wanted to add on to this that wasn't a part of the 4 that I think that Virgin is taking away from Carnival. Carnival in the past has banned the upside down pineapple. If you don't know what the upside down pineapple means, I will not say it. Just go Google search it. You will see what the upside down pineapple means. And here's the thing. With Virgin Voyages, they said, hey, you are good to go. If you are a part of the upside down pineapple community, please come on our cruise, be unapologetic about it. On my own hallway alone, I saw at least 2 cabins with upside down pineapple magnets on the door saying, hey, we are ready to have a good time. In my opinion, they've taken on everything that Carnival has said. We are no longer going to do this. Virgin said, you know what? We are going to do it. We are going to do it with pride. We are going to do it with our chests and our chins up. And we are going to tell the world, come to Virgin Voyages and have a great time. And last but not least, number 4, the daytime pool parties. Now, with these daytime pool parties, as I explained before, it was over the top. Compared to our first sailing when we were with Virgin, the pool parties during the day, they were parties. People were going, people were drinking, you know, the drinks were flowing, everybody was dancing, but it was not the same. This time around, everybody was dancing. Women were twerking. Everyone was out there doing what they do and having the time of their life. Even at one point, the time beyond their life. I mean, I even remember at one point, the gentleman that I saw going nuts the day of the pool, he was at one of the ports the next day. I said, hey man, what's up? You remember me? And he looked at me like I was crazy. It was beyond it. These pool parties are pushing people to the point where they are having a blast. It is pushing everyone to the point where you can't help but to enjoy yourself. You can't help but to get out there and want to have fun. And guys, I'm sorry, if you like to relax by the pool, you could still do that on Virgin Voyages. However, it's one of those things that there will be a dedicated time that the DJ will be playing music, and that is when everybody is coming by, everybody's having a blast, everybody is there to dance. Now, compare that to the Carnival Jubilee sailing that we were on in April. It does not compare. The Carnival Jubilee, kids were everywhere, and kids were everywhere. Literally. And the music that was played, even when it got up there and people really wanted to dance and they saw it as club music and everybody was moving and getting going, everybody kind of toned it down. You know, it's just one of those things that Carnival could not replicate what Virgin is doing. Even though Carnival claims that they are the fun ship, they claim that they are the party ship, I feel like that is no longer the case. Carnival has targeted too many families to the point where families are overrunning the pools. Families are overrunning all the areas, and that's fine. I have a family. I have 2 kids. They have a blast. They love to come with me cruising, but I'm just here to say that the thought of Carnival Cruise Line being the party ship, the fun ship, in my opinion, is no longer the case. It is going to be Virgin. If you want to have the best cruise experience partying, it is going to be Virgin. Now that leads me to my last point. Virgin will absolutely take the party cruise crown. And here's how they're going to do it. And here is their magic recipe. Listen, you cannot deny Virgin Voyages, their superpower is the adults only cruise. No other cruise line is an adults only cruise, and Carnival cannot change to an adults only cruise because that will alienate probably more than half of the business that comes to them, which is families. That would alienate me from Carnival as well, because I would say, well, if Carnival goes adults only, I'm not going on there. I'd rather go Virgin Voyages. And whenever I want to cruise with my family, I'm going to consider Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, and the rest, and the list goes on and on. But Virgin will absolutely take this crown because no other cruise line is adults only. They can push these parties to the limit because no one is worried about kids running around. And no matter how much you like it, how much you don't like it, this is one of those things that the fact is undeniable. The superpower is the fact that Virgin is adults only. They have that as their power. No other cruise line can say that they are adults only unless they do a special cruise or whatever the case is. So now with them wanting to be the party cruise line, they can do that. They can take things to the next level and they can really get the party atmosphere going, not like any other cruise line. Now, some of the repercussions that I think might happen with Virgin is they're going to realize that a lot of the over drunken people even if I don't even know if that's a word, but the people that are just getting too drunk, that might be a repercussion. And what I saw more people absolutely wasted on the Virgin cruise than I've seen on any other cruise. Does that mean that everyone was absolutely wasted? Not at all. This just means that when you go to the parties, just expect to see it. When you go, through Scarlet Night and whatever the case is, you are going to see people that cannot handle their liquor or that are just pushing themselves past what they can hold, and they're going to drink past their own limits. And you will see a lot more of that compared to the other cruise lines. And I think that that's something Virgin is going to have to look at and say, hold on, this might not be a good idea. This might cause some tension in the air. People might not like each other for that. This might cause some fights, some arguments, whatever the case is. And I hope I'm wrong, but it's one of those things that I can't help but to think that this is the case. Now, Virgin, I think, does a great job at having security on board. Wherever I went, I did see somebody that was security, that was patrolling the areas, making sure everybody was good to go. Throughout the parties, I did see a lot of these workers and the cast and the crew tell certain people, hey, slow down. Hey, come over here. Hey, if you're going to jump in the pool, make sure you're very close to the pool, not jumping from miles away or whatever the case is. So it's one of those things that I can tell that Virgin Voyages is trying to put a hold on it and trying to at least say, hey, we're going to break open this lid. We're going to tell everybody we're the party cruise line, but also at the same time, we're going to have our lines. We're going to have our limits. And I think that as of right now, as of August of 2025, they are doing a great job at that. I definitely had a great time. I did not see anybody that was extremely uncomfortable with something. And if they were, obviously they would just walk away, go to another deck, and things were toned down. So leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Have you been on a Virgin Voyages cruise recently? Have you been on a Carnival sailing recently and seen some of the changes happening? And let me know down below in the comments. And of course, guys, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that ring notification. For every time I drop a video, you will get notified. I will appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, guys. And last but not least, in regards, no, scratch that.
And last but not least, in regards, no, scratch that.
And last but not least, in regards, no.